Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Head 2, and hopefully you like this video, hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk more about Major League Baseball trade rumors, as the Major League Baseball trade deadline is 28 days away, 4 weeks from today as I record this video. We'll talk about a few teams here, all Midwest teams, the Cubs, the Astros, and the Cardinals. First up, the Cubs. What's going on with the Cubs? This is a headline from Fan Nation. Inside the Cubs from SI.com. Insider hints at Chicago Cubs trade fan favorite during MLB trade deadline. An insider listed the Chicago Cubs outfield as a potential trade candidate. Let's see what this has to say. The last place Cubs could be making moves next month that disappoint the fan base. Cubs fans have been disappointed in more ways than not this season, as they've certainly been one of the worst stories in Major League Baseball. I mean, really, you sign a manager with a $500 million contract for the next 5 years, you better win. There are a few reasons for sitting in last place with a 39-46 record, but their lack of moves in the offseason is the biggest one. Chicago made decent moves throughout the offseason, but it was clear they needed more. They relied heavily on the offense to figure it out, and more than 80 games in, that obviously wasn't the right decision. They didn't figure out anything. Jed Hoyer said last week that they could be sellers at the deadline. Perhaps the right decision given how everything has gone. He had the following to say, according to Jesse Rogers of ESPN. Quote, "It has undoubtedly dragged on far longer than we expected or hoped," Hoyer said. We need to play a lot better. We dug ourselves a hole, and we have to dig ourselves out of that hole. It's important we do that in the next 33 days or whatever we have until the deadline. You have to make hard. That's pretty bad. You didn't know the deadline day. Hoyer then added that it might not be the right time for the conversation, but acknowledged it could happen. Quote, "I don't think it's time for that full conversation, but it's just reality that we have to play better in July. We backed ourselves into a corner. Ain't that the truth?" Mark Feinstein of MLB.com listed a player who hasn't been in a ton of trade rumors, but could make sense to move. Given his contract, Feinstein listed Ian Happ as a potential trade suitor for the Philadelphia Phillies. Adding an outfield bat, Luis Robert Jr., Ian Happ, Tommy Pham would appear to be the biggest priority for an otherwise complete team. Happ, a proven veteran, could bring a decent haul back. At the very least, the Cubs are going to sell at the deadline. They need to be well positioned to make moves during the offseason. Getting prospects back in these deals would help with that. With arguably the best farm system in baseball already in place, the Cubs would have even more to land a star during the fall and winter months. Whatever happens will be controlled by how they play in July, and if things continue, the front office will have some tough decisions to make. Maybe they'll give some more money to Craig Counsell. They could do that. Now here's the St. Louis Cardinals, one of the rivals of the Chicago Cubs. This is from, again, SI.com. Headline, MLB Insider predicts Cardinals will trade young outfielder this summer. It sounds like the Cardinals could end up making a move in the near future. Well, this is from a few hours ago. We got like 2 to 4 weeks till the trade deadline. It sounds like one young outfielder may see his time with the St. Louis Cardinals coming to an end. St. Louis has dealt with a plethora of injuries so far this season, which has greatly impacted its plans. Cardinals haven't had their expected starting outfield available for a single game yet this season. This should change over the next few weeks, though. I can't wait. The Cardinals finally are starting to get healthy, and that could lead to some changes in the roster. With the 2024 Major League Baseball trade deadline quickly approaching, the Cardinals could trade some of their talent away. Outfielder Dylan Carlson has been mentioned in trade rumors over the last year. It seemed like he may get a larger shot this season, and the hope was he would take advantage of it. That hasn't been the case. In the Athletics, Katie Woo predicted he could be moved. Carrying 5 outfielders isn't feasible, especially with 2 super utility players also rostered. Woo said, "I imagine the Cardinals look to trade Carlson, who's just 25 years old and has multiple years of remaining control. Carlson will be eligible for arbitration for the first time in 2025. Won't be a free agent until 2027. Quote, he's a good defender. His offensive production would likely be much higher with consistent playing time. It's been another disappointing season for Carlson, who was on his way to the starting center field job after a strong spring, but the sprained AC joint he suffered in the penultimate spring training game sidelined him for a week. And Michael Sinai and Brendan Donovan stepped up in the outfield in Carlson's absence. Carlson has been mentioned in plenty of trade rumors, and it sounds like this time he actually may get moved. Well, you think he'd get a little bit of a, sort of a benefit of the doubt. I mean, the guy's hurt. Then that's why his production isn't low. But it seems like, according to this, the Cardinals are going to skadoosh him out of St. Louis. So we'll see what happens there. And finally in this video, the American League's Houston Astros used to be in the National League for a long, long time. Best thing in baseball is they put them in the American League so they can face the Rangers all the time in Texas. But again, this is from SI.com. Houston Astros named perfect trade partner for intriguing National League team. Could the Houston Astros be a permanent trade partner for this intriguing National League team? Okay, let's see what this article has to say. Now, if you're not on X and you're not on Facebook, you need to hit that subscribe button so you know what's going on with all these major league teams in terms of trades. We're going to cover all the possible trades that you can possibly hear about on this channel, on the Baseball Head 2. So please hit that subscribe button. Houston Astros continue to be linked to many different trade rumors with under a month left for the 2024 MLB trade deadline, which is, of course, June 30th. No one knows what Dana Brown and the Astros are going to do. They could buy town and try to compete this season. And at the same time, they could trade away town and retool for the future. Keeping that in mind, there are many teams around the league who are hoping the Houston opts to sell. The Astros have a lot of talent that could be of interest to teams hoping to contend. One of those teams could be the St. Louis Cardinals, who are quietly becoming a contender in the National League Central. Josh Jacobs of Redbirds Rants, the Cardinals website and fan site, has listed Houston as a potentially perfect trade partner for the Cardinals. Jacobs mentioned a couple of different players. Both of the names he suggested are starting pitchers. Justin Verlander and Valdez were the top two names suggested as Cardinals trade targets. I highly doubt Verlander would want to go to St. Louis. It's not a big town. If he were to go somewhere, maybe Los Angeles, maybe back to Detroit, I don't see him wanting to go there. But that is a great baseball town. Valdez especially is someone he thinks would be high on the wish list for St. Louis. Because I would mention that Verlander has no trade clause. He can determine where he can go. The bigger fish that the Cardinals would sure like to add to their rotation is left-hander Framber Valdez. He's posted a 3.68 ERA. This season has one more year of control following this season. Valdez has been with the Astros for years now. As used to the high-stakes environments of October, has found himself in the Cy Young race a number of times in his career. It seems very unlikely that Houston would want to trade him. He has become a key part of the rotation, is still in his prime at 30 years old. However, most players have a price tag. If the Cardinals were to get extremely aggressive, they might convince the Astros to pull the trigger on either Verlander or Valdez. Obviously, this is complete speculation. There have been no concrete reports about these two teams being interested in becoming trade partners. Then why'd you do the article? I would mention that a lot of times when I read these articles, first time I'm reading it, just to get my natural reaction to it. With all that being said, wasted 5 minutes of your time reading it, or 3 minutes of your time reading it, Houston first has to decide if it is going to trade town or try to acquire it. If they opt out to sell, the Astros could be a very good fit for St. Louis and potential trade discussions. Now, before we leave this video, you need to hit that subscribe button again. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.